5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. The only thing we have to fear is fear.
Mile 18.
This is Endurance Nation.
Are you tired of just losing your fitness every year? Of getting out there on the open road come springtime and everyone else is still faster than you and you're not making progress? We understand. We created the Outseason program just for you. It's a 14-week protocol for triathletes and gravel cyclists with an opportunity to lock in through your Zwift workouts and focused training to unlock your potential by targeting functional threshold and high VO2 workouts with some endurance on the weekends. We build your fast before you're far. So by the time you get to the spring, you can turn down the fast and start adding some volume when the weather gets nice and unleash your endurance potential. Stop following the same program and hoping you get different results. Head over to endurancenation.us/outseason to get our 14-week program for one low price now. Hey everyone, it's Coach Patrick here back with another episode. This week, I'm kicking off the Outseason conversation. That's right. It's the week of November 4th. Our Outseason program is rolling and live. Those of you who've gone to endurancenation.us/outseason and have opted into the winter program, or if you're on Zwift and in the mobile companion app, you can find our events at 6:30 and 10:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's Eastern time or your own time zone, wherever those may be. You've been experiencing the Outseason and things are rolling. And so today I want to talk to you about the 5 things that have been asked the most inside of our community here in the first week of the Outseason. As a reminder, the Outseason is the time of year where we do fast before far, where we build critical fitness. Well, everyone else in your age group is keeping their heart rate below, the 140 minus their age times the weather divided by the number of times they've been offended online. You are actually doing hard work, and we're building like resiliency, mental toughness, like your mental six pack. We're also building critical threshold fitness on the bike for sure, and maybe also a little bit on the run, depending on how healthy you are and depending on what your goals are for next year. And so it's kind of a counterintuitive program. And instead of doing the volume now, it's actually for us, volume is race specific. If you're going to do an Ironman, then a 100-mile ride is race specific. 6 hours on the bike, very race specific. We want that in the last 8 weeks. I don't want it in September. I don't want it in October or November or December. We're months away from your key race. You're just wasting your time, spending way too much time indoors on a Saturday, sitting on top of a towel in your trainer and sprinting every time like a Bud Light commercial comes on during your favorite football game. Do people even drink Bud Light anymore? Asking for a friend. So, all right, back to our 5 key questions, because I think you, audience, will learn. If you haven't done the Outseason or checked it out, go ahead, endurancenation.us/outseason. You can learn more. All right, so question number 1. What's this whole thing about Mondays and Fridays being off? I love it. The first question people ask me in the training program is, hey, why am I paying you money for a training program when you're telling me to take 2 days off? That's right. Actually, the hardest thing I can do is get you to take 2 days off. And in fact, most of you will still ignore this advice. Like a parent who's struggling to tell their child not to touch the hot pot on the stove, you're still going to run over there and do something on those Mondays and Fridays. Likely that will set you back later in the winter. This, my friends, is normal. I'm hoping that if you're doing the Outseason, you're inside of our program, you're paying attention and listening to the veterans who came on during our introductory session. Thanks for joining, and explain to you that actually Mondays and Fridays are intentional. When we're doing this level of high intensity work, we need commensurate rest to absorb. And the winter is a great time to rest. There's plenty of other things to do. Maybe you want to be outside hiking, or like me, raking leaves like endlessly. Maybe you actually want to spend time with your family or do some other stuff at work, or perhaps you have a hobby. All those things are great to do now when we're not in season. If you treat your in-season and your out-season the same, if you're doing the same volume in-season, out-season, not only is that a bad idea, you're not going to get any results. You will plateau. And so actually get good at resting. These are 2 great days when you don't have to set an alarm and you can just get up with your normal panic sense of like life is happening and I need to get back to it. Clutch your phone and get off to work. Like just be normal on those days. It'll do great things for your mind, your body, and your soul. All right. The number 2 question that we get in the out-season as far as, where do I get these bike workouts from? Yes. I regret to inform you that our bike workouts are not only available on Zwift for the training protocols, you can get them in the companion app for anyone. They're available as Zwift workouts that you can download and execute on your own. They're also available on Trainer Road. That's right. You can pretty much put these Endurance Nation bike workouts for the winter anywhere you want to put them. Well, maybe there's some places you shouldn't put them. But regardless, there are workouts that you can do online all the time. The bike workouts are the heart of how things work inside Endurance Nation. In fact, we've been cited inside books, Training and Racing with Power. We're in there, Endurance Nation, boom. talking about threshold power, talking about TSS, talking about execution for an Ironman. And we use that protocol in terms of making sure that we're not just doing fast before far, but we're actually getting a high return on investment for your training dollar. We do our best, our very, very best, although in the last couple of weeks of the out season, didn't quite get there, to keep your workouts within the context of an hour. Instead of just making you do zone 2 for longer and longer and longer and longer and calling that coaching, we're actually changing the main set, keeping you within an hour and adding additional stress points by manipulating the structure of intervals, the intensity, and your cadence. It's a highly scientific formula that involves me, some beer, my dog, and many, many spreadsheets. And those of you on the team know that sometimes one of those key elements fails me, usually my dog. She's the one just gives up, just walks outside. And I'm sorry, some of those workouts get a little wacky. But regardless, you have all the bike workouts, put them on your laptop, put them in your computer, put them in your trainer, and put them in your legs. Get to work. Work works. Get fast before you go far. All right. The number 3 question that we have in the wintertime, why do you keep talking to me about eating? It's the winter. I'm trying to lose weight. I want to lose weight right now. Why is Coach Patrick talking to me about eating? Well, all right, this is the 2-parter, and you're going to say that I'm cheating, but I'm not cheating. All right, so, and eating is not cheating, even though that rhymes. All right, so the number 1 problem that people have in the out season is that over time, they're unable to execute the intervals. Doesn't make sense, right? Like they're doing the work, they're doing plenty of recovery Monday, Friday, because they're resting on Monday and Friday. You're resting, right? I'm going to come to your house. Tell me you're not up at 3 a.m. doing workouts. All right. So if you're resting and you're doing the workouts, how come we're not seeing adaptation? Doesn't make sense. And right, it doesn't until I talk to people on the phone. And then I find out that they're not actually eating or even drinking sports drink. They're like, it's an hour. Why? Honestly, at that point, why even breathe? Why don't you just save all the oxygen and hold your breath for the hour during the interval? Like your body needs glycogen. You've likely been fasting overnight unless you sleep, eat. Some people have been known to do that in race prep cycles. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you're actually really fueled well for the workouts. This is high intensity, hard work. If you're going to go run a 5K, so you fast for like a day and then run a 5K and be like, that was obviously my best. Like, no, we would fuel it. Fuel your workouts. I'm not saying go nuts. I have a couple Cliff Blocks. Maybe I have 1 or 2 during a workout. I have my Gatorade sports drink. I drink that for sure. I have at least 1 bottle an hour indoors on the bike. But have some calories. It's going to make those workouts better. And just as importantly, not only facilitate those workouts, but facilitate the exit of those workouts as well. Ideally, in a good scenario, you're on a good, healthy, sustainable diet during the day, and we add the additional calories from the workout. So that's what I was about to say. On the other part of it, we still want you to eat well and eat smart. I don't want you to binge elsewhere. If you fast and starve yourself during your workouts, the odds of you binging and making poor decisions later exponentially higher, right? So don't do that, right? Just fuel your workouts. It's like a bike workout. If there's 14 weeks and 3 bike workouts, we have 52 workouts. I know because I made all of them by hand, like an artisanal Zwift workout maker. That's 52 gels. You can get 52 gels. It's a little expensive, but you got this. Unless you buy those high fancy ones that you can't really eat or taste disgusting. It's a sweet spot. It's about like $3 a gel, I think, seems to be about the best flavor gel. Whatever flavor that is. $3. The $3 flavor. Okay. All right. The number 4 question that we get in the out season all the time, and not frustrating at all for me, but more observational about our athletes, is what's with the test and rest weeks? That's right. Every 5th week. So we have week 5, and week 10, and then week 14, because 5s, right? 5, 10, 14. That's how it works, I think, right? Not your math teacher. We do a test and rest week. And that's why we have an opportunity for us to calibrate your power and pace on the bike and on the run to make sure that our workouts are doing the right thing. If you never test, if you never put your numbers into the machine and see what you get back out again, if you step on the scale, but you never look at it, or you never step on the scale, or you've thrown the scale out, or, baby with the bathwater, you'll never know where you are. And if you don't know where you are, then there's no way for you to get to where you want to be. It's all just guesswork. So while it's a little tough on race day to come to terms that your best possible effort was 6 minutes short of the PR that you wanted, the best way to overcome that race day disappointment is to have winter training focus, is to actually rip the Band-Aid off and get it done now, which is what we want. Okay. And the 5th and final thing, because I think my wife is coming home right now. Oh my goodness. Here's my wife and the dog. The 5th and final thing that I get asked the most in the out season, which drives people crazy, it drives me crazy as well, is what race do I put at the end of the out season? What do I do? It's going to be February if you start in November, or it's going to be April, early April, if you start in January. And you can start in both of those places. And the end race that we're ideally looking for is a half marathon on the run. If you can't do a half marathon on the run, or you're using our cycling program or our Try Bike Focus program because you're in run jail, either way, then we can set you up with a bike TT effort to do as well, ideally under trainer, or if you live in nice weather, maybe outside. But the goal here is about a 90-minute effort, which is going to allow us to see how your threshold work that you've been doing during the out season, and being balanced with work and rest and strength and all the stuff you're doing, has actually translated and starts to translate into some of the longer work that we need for you to be successful when we move in season. Bottom line, by the time you reach the end of your out season, you will be just as fast, if not faster, than you were at the end of last season. You'll also be rested, and now's the time we can start adding far on top of this newfound speed. And that final element of the out season is just that, is that race. So find a half marathon, your choice, or you got to run your own, or we'll come up with a bike time trial for you. Would rather not do an actual racy race. If you have to, if you're lucky enough to live near somewhere where there's like an Olympic or whatever, you could do that, but I'd rather you wouldn't. All right. Okay. Those are the top 5 things people ask me in the out season. If I'm talking about all this, you've listened this far and you don't know what the out season is, please look at me. I'm here in Zwift right now. I'm in Watopia. Come join me, EnduranceNation.us/out season or /Zwift to learn more about our Zwift workouts, get the free downloads there, and make sure that you're all dialed in. We are here to make your winter exceptional so your 2025 season can meet the standards, the high standards that you've set for yourself. We believe in you. We know you can do it. And we look forward to seeing you put in the hard work. Work works. Get out there. Remember, fast before far. We'll see you online at the races in Zwift. Bye.
Endurance Nation.
Hey, podcast fans. I know you love the podcast because here you are, you're listening to it and you're still listening to me talk right now. Did you know you can get content just like this in your inbox once a month? We send out a great newsletter. We call it, guess what? The Unfair Advantage. That's right. It's our information to you, something that separates you from the competition. If they're not here, then they don't know. But if you are here, then now you do. Zero excuses. If you go check us out online at EnduranceNation.us/newsletter, it's your opportunity to enter your email address, sign up for these updates. They come once a month, sometimes twice a month, depending on my race schedule. And it's your chance to get insider information that's going to help you become a better, smarter athlete. Don't miss out on this chance to get ahead of the competition. It doesn't cost you any money, and it's not a ton of work. It's just your email address. That's EnduranceNation.us/newsletter.
For more information about Endurance Nation, visit us online at EnduranceNation.us. The provided music is from the Podshow Podsafe Music Network. Check it out at music.podshow.com.